So after playing Brawl Stars for like 6 or 7 years, when the game first released in global, I think it was like December 9, 2019, when Leon was released. Man, that time when Leon was released, that was so hype. And then after the Brawler, I think Carl is the next one, or Gene. After those things, like those, there was hype. Like new Brawlers was hype back then. And but right now, like they like it's every month is new Brawler, but it doesn't feel the same as it used to be. So I found this videos right here saying why aren't new Brawler excited anymore. So that's back the question for many players, same for new players and also veteran. So I have my thoughts. So let's hear what do this video have to say.
Why aren't new brawlers exciting anymore in Brawl Stars? As you play a game longer and longer, it's only inevitable for some parts of the game to feel less special than it did at the beginning. But this still begs the question of why several players within the community share the sentiment of new brawlers being way more exciting just a few years ago. Today, I'll be discussing my 3 ideas on why brawler hype has been declining throughout the years, both when unlocking them and when they're released, and how this puts Supercell in a deathly troubling dilemma everyone is experiencing, whether they realize it or not. So first, before we can explain why Brawlers stopped being exciting, we have to take a look at why Brawler rarities used to feel more special. The joy of getting a new epic, mythic, or legendary Brawler was
Yeah, I
way
remember
more
those days
exhilarating
when
back
opening
then than
boxes
it is
and get your
now.
Leon on your first
Why is
boxes.
that? To uncover the first of many reasons, we're going back to before the end
Told you
of
it was boxes.
2022, when Brawl boxes were your main resource for unlocking new Brawlers. For most of its
So to me, I think the main problem of why Brawlers ain't exciting anymore is boxes. I think removing boxes is like removing the hype. So as for veteran players, as I am, like opening boxes and getting those new Brawlers like flashy. You see those like 8 numbers, and then at the end it was flashy. Those were the good old days. But I see like removing boxes and adding credits is also a good idea because like you need the new players to catch up. That's why like Brawl Stars need new players, of course. You cannot maintain a game just by controlling or having an old player or veteran player. You also need new players. So I think creating credits is the way to solve the economy, to make the new player to catch up as with the veteran players. I just see in Carol's time, like he got so many brawlers, but if they don't put credit and only put boxes, it would take like years, because you need RNG and you need those boxes. So like even though you have many boxes, like I did an opening before, like I have so many boxes, but I never get the brawler. It's like pure RNG based, and the pity is like so high. I think those time was like 100 100 big boxes, 100 big boxes to get a mythic. I think it's a mythic or an epic, and mega boxes like 20 or 10. Like it's a lot, and back then mega boxes were like really expensive. So right now they replace it with credit and also like star drop. That like credit is like progression. Credit is mostly progression, but remove the hype. That's what I think it is.
history, these were your drop chances for all the rewards in a single Brawl box.
Yeah,
Isolating
like
just the Brawler rarities, we can get into the nitty
like this rarity is like really big gap. So you know how hype it is getting up out like a small brawl box, like and opening it and get a legendary brawl. Those were like really hype than getting like a legendary star drop, because legendary star drop this chance is like also low, but it's not like, oh, you got a legendary. It's not a hype like it's not hype as brawl boxes, because brawl boxes is like small and have really small chance of getting legendary or mythic brawler, while as for legendary star drop, you expect it would have a higher rate compared to a brawl boxes. I think that's like the huge problem killing the hype right now.
gritty of just how special new brawlers were to a player. Brawl Stars did have a form of pity system, which basically meant every 30 draws, your luck value for getting new brawlers would increase by a small percent.
I remember the time I opened in so many boxes that I didn't care about the chances anymore. Like I know I need to hit pity, So I think my highest legendary was 0.0001. Like it's really hard compared to like my brothers or other player. Like I know like I need like 20 or 25, then boom, guarantee legendary or brawl boxes. Like it's like I opening so many boxes that I know I'm gonna get guaranteed to the pity.
Conversely, when you unlocked a new brawler, your luck value for getting new brawlers decreased. For simplicity's sake, we'll ignore.
Oh yeah, and get this. When I get legendary brawler, the decrease is now in decrease. It's like, oh, so you minus my 0.000005% or 6%. It does nothing to my pity. So I know, okay, I just need to open more boxes or save up more boxes.
For this luck system just to get a general vibe for how rare these brawlers were at the time. Using this geometric equation, we can figure out just how many brawl boxes it took to have at least a 50% chance of unlocking a new brawler of a certain rarity. For mythics, it took over 250. For legendaries, over 600.
600. That's why Brawl Stars try to fix those chances by creating credit, so new player doesn't have to open a billion or 1,000 of boxes just to get one legendary brawler. But there's a chance of you getting early.
Just to have a 50% chance. Sometimes it would take months, maybe even years of hoping before you finally got a legendary brawler. But when you did, you can imagine the pure exhilaration of finally feeling your luck pull through.
The good old days. I
can speak from first-hand experience that unlocking a new brawler, especially mythics and legendaries, was an unparalleled level of hype compared to most things the game offered. This is how Brawl Stars used to leverage chance to build brawler hype. Because when Supercell announced the new brawler at Brawl Talk, you bet the dedicated portion of the community had already saved up.
So nostalgia. This is so nostalgia. Saving up those boxes. Saving up those boxes for a new legendary brawler. Right now, like rarity doesn't mean anything anymore. Like rarity, like you can put an epic or mythic or legendary, it doesn't mean anything anymore because you just need to have more credits. While as for before the credit change, like legendary, you know, like, oh hell no, am I gonna get it? Am I gonna lose? Am I gonna get him or her? Like it's like you need to think like, oh, there's a luck behind it. It's not like pity progress like credits.
Brawl boxes for it. There was this exciting rush of farming and grinding brawl boxes to unlock the new brawler, increasing community engagement with each new brawler release and promoting hype for every update. This was an experience we would take for granted and would happen for the last time with Buster's release on November 7th, 2022, just prior an update that would change the way new brawlers were perceived forever. On December 12th, 2022, Star Road was released, replacing brawl boxes as your primary method of obtaining new brawlers. Unlike the previous system, where fortunate players could get legendaries week 1 and unfortunate players could wait for months, the Star Road allowed a fair and stable progression experience for each player.
Like I said,
so
to make the new players to catch up.
Elements of brawl boxes, it also diminished the exciting elements of brawl boxes too. Even though higher rarity brawlers cost more credits so they could still feel special, this change removed a bit of their status. Legendary and mythic brawlers were no longer these elusive characters you were pleasantly surprised to unlock. With this new system, all legendary and mythic brawlers felt like were brawlers who took a lot of time to get.
True. Like after the credit change, you just need to like more credits. You'd be like, oh, so I need to spend more time playing the game to get the brawler instead of like, oh, am I gonna get it the next day? Am I gonna get it in another day or a few boxes later? Like, those are the questions in everybody's mind.
Brawl boxes technically did this too, but it felt different. Because in the back of your head, you always knew there was a chance you would never get some of the rarest brawlers. Pity system would always give you help, but...
There's no pre-watch, by the way. I promise you, there's no pre-watch. We just have the same idea. Like, I played this game for a while, guys.
It was the fact that mythics and legendaries weren't guaranteed. Meanwhile, with the Star Road, you take a good look at Leon over there and you know you'll get him eventually. You already have this expectation you'll unlock that character. So you're not as happy when it becomes reality. There's a bit of satisfaction in earning something you played a long time for, but in the end, it doesn't quite replicate that raw excitement Brawl boxes offered. Especially in the lead up to the new Brawler releases when players used to feel this rush collecting Brawl boxes. Meanwhile, credits literally have a system preventing players from banking progression. There's no
we need, you know how we need a credit store right now. I don't want to go to fame. I don't want it to go to fame. I need to push my video when the new brawler came, like how I did with when boxes or mastery. I need those credit storage. Now I don't have any storage.
No rush or chance or frankly gambling trying to get the new brawler. You just
I
get
love
them
gambling.
soon or you get them later and you know exactly when that's gonna happen. Heck, sometimes you even decide when that's gonna happen. Star drops were released to emulate this lucky feeling to some extent, but they're not the same for unlocking brawlers as brawl boxes once were. I'm not saying this system is bad or worse than brawl boxes, but I do think this is a big underlying component of why
Well, it is a good changes. Like Brawlers are trying to build up the hype again after removing the hype or the gacha behind, like the gambling behind in the game. But it was only hype, like only like for a period of time, not really long as boxes. You know, boxes like released when beta, like when beta, it was like hype for 2019, 2022. Those are long period. Right now, like we're bored of it. I think I bored of it like 1.5 years or 2 years. I just got bored of it. When I see legendary brawler, I'll be like, oh, that must be a basic skin or a trash star drop. Like it's not hype as when you see a mega box is like 8 or 10, because you know you're gonna have more like, for example, skins or gadget or star drop, something like that. You know what I mean?
brawler releases have grown less exciting these past few years. And this doesn't even cover what I actually think is the biggest reason for decreased brawler hype, which I'll get to in a
Why do I see my two favorite brawlers in this thing?
bit. But first, let me run over a quick stat with you and see if you can notice what I'm hinting at. On screen is the number of brawlers released each year since global launch.
We're increasing.
You notice it too,
What happened to 22? What happened to 22?
right? It stayed the same for the past 5 years. Supercell is releasing as many brawlers into the game as they were when Brawl Stars was just launching globally. Even as we approach 100 brawlers in the game as of summer 2025, Supercell
We're at 95 brawlers right now? I didn't know that. Well,
just
I know.
keeps
I thought
rolling.
it was
Brawlers
100.
can't afford to stop because new brawlers are what engage the community best. They generate revenue, they build excitement for the update, they
Yep.
increase interest in the game. New
Yep.
brawlers do everything. But eventually, at what point has it gone too far? With each new brawler that's released, these brawlers have to get just a little less memorable. And this is not the fault of Supercell or the design team, but
do you mean?
rather an inevitability of the system. Here's an example. How could a brawler like Lumi stand to be as iconic of a brawler as Mortis?
Lumim is broken and Mortis trash.
It's not a fair comparison. She was one of 90-something, while Mortis was one of 15. It's going to be very difficult for her. The more brawlers that are added to the game, the less special each brawler release becomes. This is just how it was always going to be, but the Brawl Stars team is
Really?
eventually going to reach a point where they'll have to make a decision on what they're willing to sacrifice. Do they take a loss on slowing down brawler releases, or bite the bullet on oversaturating the game with characters?
Well, I don't know about that.
Going back to what I said about brawler rarities, there were 2 mythic brawlers in total at
Well, I don't know about that. How is having more brawlers bad thing? I think that's a good thing, right? You have more brawlers, you have more brawlers to play around with instead of like once per patch, once per brawler. Well, I understand, like compared to the meme and Mortis, like Mortis OG, but Mortis not fun. I don't like Mortis.
global launch. There were 4 the following year and 7 the year after that. Can you guess how many mythic brawlers are in the game now?
Oh, I understand now. So it just means, so we release so many brawlers that you be like, oh, it's just another mythic brawler. It's like nothing special as OG Mortis right there.
33. There are 33 mythic brawlers in the
I didn't
game.
know that.
And I know this number's inflated because of chromatic brawlers, which is a whole other can of worms I might make a video about eventually. But it still
chromatic.
goes to show just how common some of the rarest brawlers are now. Before, mythic brawlers felt mythical. Heck, even epic brawlers felt epic, and now it just feels like a title to
Epic.
them. The same goes for legendary brawlers to a smaller extent, which are now a group of 12. The 11th and 12th legendaries, Kenji and Draco, just don't compare to the level of hype around the original 3. And this hype
Well, yes. I
will
understand that.
decrease even further in recent months.
I think because like the credit, yes, it's always the credit. The credit just changed the hype and everything. Like when you open the boxes, you see Spike is more hype than seeing a Kenji unlocking back credits.
primarily due to one huge issue within the community.
It is undeniably broken.
I mean, Charlie is so good.
Kenji is indeed very good.
Lily was the best brawler in the game during my last year list.
Apparently, he's more broken than kids, so.
Ali is broken. If you don't have Ali on your team, you're losing.
Several
I approve OJ word. If you don't have Ali, just uninstall.
overpowered brawler releases have made their way into the game, starting all the way back since the beginning of the game.
Hey. No, not my Mo, bro.
In all honesty, there are always going to be balancing mistakes, and while sometimes this would create frustrations in the community, I feel that most were usually pretty forgiving. At a time
Oh my god. The good old days when Leon was broken as fuck. I think they didn't nerf Leon until everybody scared Leon. Or nerf like 1 week or 2. I forgot, I don't remember. Like, Leon was broken because how he can stay invisible while attacking. Like, imagine Ali attacking, but she's still invisible. You never see her. Yes.
Brawl Stars had a nearly flawless track record of listening to community feedback, and it never felt like Supercell was purposefully exploiting the player base. But then we got Charlie, then Kit, then Lorien, Mo, and Kenji, and all these brawlers who had to be instantly nerfed right after they were released. Supercell needed new brawlers to be on the stronger side to develop hype for the update. After all, who would get excited over new brawlers who were average to mediocre in the meta?
Well, I need to defend this. I agree having new brawlers become broken compared to becoming a Willow. Because I hate Willow. Like Willow, like even after like when she first released, she felt so bad, and even after the buff, I don't want to even want to play her. But if like for example like Mo or Kenji, they was broken, then they got nerfed. But I still like Kenji. Like you still like in your mind, I think in your mind, you still think that they are OP even though they are trash. You understand what I mean? So what I mean is, the first impression is mean everything. So for example, if I have Willow right now, and she's trash, even the buffer in the later game, my brain still think it's trash. For example, like if I got Kenji or Mo, when they first released, they was broken. Even after they nerfed to the ground like Mo, I still like playing Mo.
When you're
because you still have those memories of crushing people when you play Mo.
trying to make brawlers really strong, however, you're bound to have cases where brawlers take it too far, bordering on overpowered and broken, causing community.
Well, I think Kit and Larry is too much. Those are too much. That when Larry first releases, like I don't want to even touch the game. My friend didn't even touch the game for 2 weeks, waiting for Larry to be released.
Outrage. This wasn't helped by the fact that Supercell had begun implementing a new method of monetizing their game, one that would cause distrust in the player base that would loom over the community for months on end. Early access. You can imagine how bad of a look it was to release a brawler that was clearly overpowered and offer it early for $25. Then
So
when
cute.
early access was over and free-to-play players could realistically get their hands on the brawler, they were already nerfed. Eventually, the community got fatigued.
Well, this is like Clash Royale, right? When Clash Royale they release a new card, they nerf it as soon as as soon as free-to-play brawlers get it, like the evolution. Those are the same. Well, that was stingy, but I think giving free-to-play players like a week or 2 weeks to play along, like Ali. I think Ali nerf is not too much. Like I still having fun play Ali, but I know she's gonna get nerfed, so I'm gonna need to play her now.
Got more skeptical of new brawler releases because of the precedent set by these repeated mistakes. This had all been culminating over.
Well, I don't like Brawl Stars doing that. Like Larry, after 2 weeks they nerf it. When as soon as free to play got it, I think those are trash. But the free to play, the early access, I think is a good thing for monetization. But I think they just destroyed, like I said in the last video, they destroyed by removing all the progression inside the early access.
Months and months, and would eventually climax once we saw the brawl talk of a very special brawler. The release of Kaze as an
Kaze?
ultra-legendary brawler has led to a very poor community response from a lot of long-time players.
I don't like
The
Kaze.
fatigue and skepticism at an
I don't
all-time
like
high.
Kaze
The
at all.
last thing most of the dedicated player base wanted to see was another brawler that looked really strong again, was under a new rarity, and costed $50 US. Is crazy work. Kaze
Not
wasn't
bad.
as broken as a lot of people thought she would be, but this still wasn't good for community morale. Sure, an
Like, well, she's good, but she's not fun to play for me. I'd rather play Ali.
ultra legendary brawler does solve the issue of the highest rarity brawlers not feeling special enough, but
And also, Kaze is not special. Like, to be honest, like, Kaze is not special. All I see is Kaze is like, oh, new rarity, but not like special. You know what I mean? I think credit just killed the hype. I said like a billion
at the same
times.
time, what free-to-play player wants to farm 5,500 credits
But
for
Kaze,
just one
like,
brawler?
Kaze character is
Brawlboxes
good
had
though.
the advantage of out of sight, out of mind. You never expected a brawler from each brawl box, so whenever you got one, it felt really good. Even if you did have a long journey ahead of you unlocking the next brawler, you just didn't see it. It wasn't as obvious to you how slow progression was. Meanwhile, Star Road acts as a constant reminder of just how far away you are. Free-to-play players aren't going to be as hyped for ultra-legendary brawler releases because they see the grind that awaits them when it's time to start on.
Yeah, I think most people today in today's world rather having gacha, gambling addict like me, I having gambling addict, rather opening those much to get a guarantee rather than seeing you're going toward a guarantee. Like, I'd rather take a gamble. Like, for example, if I rather get open like 50 megabucks and didn't know I get Kaze or not, vs with credits, I'd rather open the mega boxes, getting my chance, getting Kaze instead of like seeing the credits grow to unlock her. Yeah.
Locking. They won't even have access to the new content for a while, not even close. At that point in the Star Road, they might even get the thought they'd rather be unlocking an epic or mythic brawler since it wouldn't take so long. This is the worst situation for building hype for legendary and eventually ultra legendary brawlers, when legendaries stop feeling legendary.
True.
Brawlers nowadays are so much more complex than they used to be. Shouldn't that make them more special? Well, let's put it this way. What makes a new brawler's
Yeah, why not?
mechanics truly memorable? Take an OG brawler for example, like Leon. Leon can go invisible. That was his trait exclusive to him. You weren't quick to forget
Not
Leon
everybody's
existed since he had a
invisible.
clear theme. He could go invisible, and he was the only brawler who could go invisible. Now, let's jump forward to a modern brawler. Ali. She dashes like Mortis,
but can jump like a Miko, depending on the surface like Juju, since she can walk on water.
Very true. Right now, new brawler is basically a tiny bit of the OG brawler, a tiny bit of this brawler, a tiny bit of this brawler. Then you get a new brawler like Ali. So Ali take from Miko, Juju, Mortis, and what's next? I think they'll take from Jackie and Poco, like healings. It's not healing. Yeah, it's like healing. Like new brawlers right now, it's just picking everything. Like for example, Kaze, I can name one from the Leon trait, like her main basic attack deal, the ninja form, the ninja aspect, deal more damage when you hit near close to the enemy, and less damage for the enemy. This like Leon. And who's next? Dashing like Leon. The crit is new though. The super for the ninja is basically bold but faster. The super for geisha form is basically like Sandy but opposite. Instead of seeing people inside, you cannot see people outside. Like basically like what's one thing I don't like about like Brawl right now when they release new brawler, I could say like, oh, that's a baby of this brawler, that's a baby of this brawler, that's the baby of that brawler.
Which was supposed
That's
to be
like-
Eve's thing, but she also has a different type of invisibility that's similar to Leon.
Holy, she just took
It's not
everything
like
special
unique.
about these brawlers and mashed them together. Not to mention Ali's own unique trait, Enraged, which I don't even have the time to explain to you. And
This enrage is good though.
you can see why it's harder to excite new players with this brawler in a simple sentence. Because her whole memorable thing is, yep, I'm a pretty complicated assassin, which is inevitable in a game like Brawl Stars with so many new brawlers. You can only keep certain abilities exclusive for so long. But at the same time, it does hurt a little to see new brawlers cannibalizing old brawlers by taking their unique traits, which just makes these mechanics less interesting all around. Because
True.
even with how complex she is, Ali still doesn't feel as special as someone like Leon did on release. And with 95 brawlers in the game already, it might be almost impossible to capture that feeling ever again. Which brings me to Supercell's biggest dilemma. Without a new brawler,
Where
does
is it? What
Supercell
is it?
market the new update in a way that even excited players? Or is Supercell content with letting Brawl Stars pile on new characters? Kinda like League of Legends sitting on 170 champions. The question is, if we ever got to a point like that, will the community even care anymore? I guess that's something we'll just have to wait and see.
Good video though by Saber Brawl Star. I just discovered this video like literally today, and I want to make a video about it. I'm gonna subscribe. I'm gonna leave the link of his channel in this video like in the description, and you like it. Well, as for general, the new Brawlers not excited anymore. Credits kill the hype. Credits ruin Brawl Star. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy my new type of video, slap content. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you next one. Bye bye.